who says that because my son is young and he cannot come, and I have to come for him because he's still at school. And Sister Yuan Yaqi from South Africa, he's going to talk about the education in South Africa. And the editor of these flyers, they are made from Hsinchu and Kaohsiung, Liping, and the editors team. There are more than 30 members on this editor team, and we are making right now. We are making the flyers for the year 2026. Don't when we always work ahead of time. And let's take a look at Sister Yaqi. She has been here in person in year 2018. And in that year, when she came, she talked about the grandparents, grandpa and grandma in South Africa. It was a very touching story. We all know that Mozambique, we have Sister Tsai Dailing, and now in South Africa, Sister Yuan Yaqi is because it's a very crucial person in South Africa today. See, this is where they went back to see Master Zhen Yan. Let us give him a big round of applause. This is not easy for them to chant innumerable meaning of sutra and perform the musical adaptation. And he went to the school and asked whether I could help. And he came to the community center, and the Erica, who is the teacher, volunteer teacher, he was inspired by the Jin's aphorism. Jin's aphorism bring auspicious atmosphere in our life and change many people's life and bring wisdom to our heart. Sister Yaqi not only be their interpreter and the guide for them, leader for them, and at the same time, Sister Yaqi also is a camera person. Our master also give them inspiring section online to share the experience in Tzu Chi. This is a special design to cut the soap. In their countries, they are not easy to come back to Tzu Chi in Hualien, and so we went through the used technology to give them and to sharing our experience in Jin's abode, so that they could learn how to be self-reliant. And this is from Malawi, and also came back to Hualien, and so they learned our experience of how to do farm work, and so they learned our experience from Hualien, and so that they could grow their own vegetable in their own farm. They planted sesame. It looks very beautiful, and there are 3 pieces and 4 hectares of 4 pieces of land. Because of the sesame fields, it looks green, and they took care of each other. So in the future, we hope that there are more people. They could help one another. The villagers could help one another. Zhu Hengming is Sister Yuan Yaqi's wife, husband. And when they are short of hands to help out, they have to, Sister Yuan Yaqi and her husband has to take on all kinds of responsibilities. When love is spreading out to the villages, and you see that the ripple effect of love. We hope that we share Master Zheng Yan's teaching about the how we could connect to one another. And in Malawi, we hope we always share Master Zheng Yan's teaching and Siji's story. So they are not waiting for others to help out. They could help one another in their own country, like cultivating in the farm field and also in charity work. And today, Sister Yaqi is going to share the education mission in South Africa and in Africa, other countries. And this place is a library in South Africa. And this library is already transformed into a Jingsi reading center. The deputy CEO of the Foundation encouraged them to bring morality and character education through Jingsi aphorism to cultivate children's mind, to calm their mind down and hope that they could learn the life of wisdom from Master Zheng Yan to transform their life. They are performing musical adaptations. For me, that helping your help is just like paying forward. You help me, and I can help other, and we can help more people. These they've already to volunteer in South Africa has already spent some exerted so much effort in cultivating, in working in this education mission. We would like to be with you because you have positive energy. Hi, Sister Yaqi. What time is it in South Africa? 5 o'clock. Almost 5:30. We tell her. I tell her that we need to get in touch with her to test the whether she is familiar with room. But I know she is familiar with how to control the room, so she didn't have to wake up too early to conduct the test. And now let me forward this mic to you. And she has the when you read through this PowerPoint presentation, you will be very, very touched. And go ahead. Thanks to teacher Mei Yun for the invitation. So I have this. It's my honor to be here to share my experience in. Maybe when what you have heard about South Africa, you probably know about a volunteer Pan Ming Sui, We appreciate their senior city volunteer such as Pan Min-sui as our great models, strive to establish the foundation of Tzu Chi charity mission in South Africa. South African volunteer took on the responsibility to drive the development of Tzu Chi in neighboring countries such as Malawi and Mozambique. After I arrived in South Africa, and I try my best to learn the development of Tzu Chi in South Africa. I divided into 3 stages. The 30 years period of Tzu Chi in South Africa is divided into 4 stages. Beginning with the collapse of apartheid, where Taiwanese volunteer broke social barriers through sewing classes and HIV care. Shi Hongqi and Shi Heqi, volunteer Shi Hongqi and Pan Min-sui, both of them are from Taiwan. The second stage, the second decade, is from year 2002 and 2012. The subsequent years, compassionate community cultivated ground has expanded substantially. African volunteers are certified as a Tzu Chi commissioner. The third period from year 2012 to 2020, charity works extended to the neighboring country. International relief works benefited across South Africa and Eastern Africa. In the period of the fourth period in 2020 and 20 to 2025, due to the unexpected challenges such as the pandemic in year 2020 and the Durban riot in 2021, it was horrifying, and it happened in Durban. It's just so hard to imagine that the whole city, all the residents come to go to the street. There are robberies in the store, in all kinds of stores, and the transportation will collapse, and the major passage of highway are blocked by the rioters. I didn't expect that this world will become like that. Such horrible disturbance. When after after that riot, it's so hard to bring volunteers' hearts back to do more charity work. But there is a change. Thanks to Master Cheng Yan's blessing, the completion of the South Africa Jingsi Hall and the acquisition of the Durban office, we gradually bring our volunteer back. And in such a turbulent years, we appreciate we have this Durban Tzu Chi office features a cleverly designed Buddha hall and versatile activity spaces. And so I wonder, after the decades of charity works, the it's the heart of human are this in turbulence, and how we could shift our focus toward a mission that could create a more impactful legacy through education. After 3 decades of charity work, I thought I was too late to figure it out. I am worried. I think it can wait. Uh, we are running out of time. I appreciate the volunteer from Malawi. Um, uh, they rebuilt a kindergarten in year 2022. They touched my heart deeply. It is still free until now. Today, this kindergarten it is still free. Those volunteer works is so hard, and they already have more than 100 graduates from 3 consecutive years. I was inspired by a visit to Zambia. Zambia, they have established 6 communities of little school in Lusaka. And so when in year 2024, they were inspired by a visit to Taiwan. They found that the kindergarten children in Taiwan in today kindergarten, they look so graceful. So they were the Malawi and the Zambia city volunteer. They were inspired, and they work back, and they aspire to make their school to learn from Tzuji's kindergarten in Hualien, and they hope that they could um, educate their children like the children in kindergarten in Hualien. The volunteer teachers provide a sanctuary for over 700 children, including those previously scavenging on the street. I myself, I'm not a teacher, so I look for teachers all over the place. In I established in Durban education center, and I formed a education team. In year 2025, an education team was formed in Durban. The volunteer they introduced character and morality education to 7 schools. And last year, April, we've formed an education team, and after we formed this education team, we has benefited more than 1,000 students. To the education mission benefits over 1,000 students annually through more than 130 sections of character and morality education. We not only teach Jinsi algorithm, but we also distributed to the Jinsi algorithm books to local primary school to bring wisdom to homes and classes. I hope that I want to um, share the Jinsi algorithm education experience to more schools in South Africa. So I was looking for a school to establish a Jinsi reading Center. So the Addington School, primary school, I know the principal, so I talked to the principal. I told her that I want to cultivate the education, 近视 avarice and education, and cultivate children's character and morality. So we upgrade the layout of library at the school, and also we optimize the interior design. And so we have a wall of a Jingsi reading space and a word of character and morality wall that promote values such as compassion, gratitude, and responsibility. And this is the wall of character and morality. And we also not only have the core value teaching on this wall, and also we paint on this wall so it looks appealing and nice. And this is the first, and there's SMJ school. The educators like Maha from SMJ Primary School have noted that Tzu Ji's involvement has significantly, gradually improved the school culture, making students more polite and classroom more manageable. And students learn to help one another when they see others need help. Although the students they are from under a privileged home, family, or a community, they have custom to not negative habits. So the teacher need to know how to change their behavior, inspire them to change the behavior. So it's harder to focus only on the teaching, the knowledge, and also now the educator Maha say that the teachers Maha say that now teaching becomes easier because children's behavior has changed so much, improved so much. Last year, I told them, I told our education team that I want that us hold Africa education seminar because I witnessed the growing demand for education across various countries in Africa. So, Sister Yaqi invite education education team to host the Africa education seminar. Not only Jingsi aphorism teaching, and also we hope that the seminar focus on not only on Tzuji's humanistic spirit and also holistic learning strategies. And we want to invite a professional professor and teachers come to share their practical teaching experience with the South Africa education system. It is so hard in our transportation in Africa, and for them to travel to Durban. Participants included 30 people from Durban, 25 from Zambia, 16 from Malawi, and they have to went through the despite logistic hurdles such as bus breakdown in Botswana and Zimbabwe and flight delays. And despite all the hurdles, the seminar successfully integrated the Jingxi atmosphere into every aspect of the daily program. So we have the online session to connect with the Tzidi's education staff into the education system in Hualien, such as silent mental, the topics we cover, such as the origin of Tzi and core value of Tzi education, and silent mental and classroom management skills. Principal Liao Yizhuan of Hualien Tzi High School share insights on being a role model for students. And we have Jingxi algorithm education. And also on the conclusion day, we want to get connection with Master Zhang Yan. And we also have African education officials, retired principals, lecturer from our university provided training on creative teaching education for special needs. And we may invited to Master Zheng Yan that we want to share Tzu core value to more people, to educate more children, to purify the heart of children. In the last year, we have many online connection, over 20 sections online connection, and include Zambia, Malawi, and Swatini. We have a lot of cultivation and training. The importance is the Zambia volunteer.
This is the okay. Now I'm going to share the story that was happened in Zambia. Zambia is actually about 200 kilometers away from the capital cities. And the capital city is Lusaka. There are so many hidden corners. Even though there's a primary school that's free of charge, but lots of parents they would like to pay extra money to secure a spot for their students, for their children's. So it's actually the money under the table. So that's why for the primary public school, there are 200 students in one class. Now, can you imagine how could one teacher to take care of all the 200 students? So even in such a hard situation, the parents there are desperate to put their child into the class. And lots of the other parents, they cannot afford the money, so they just give up the educations. And in 2024, in January, so a volunteer over there starting the learning centers for those children. They cannot afford to pay the tuition fees. And also due to this very limited teaching resources, so we'll use anything that's accessible around us, such as they use stone as the teaching materials. And because there is no classroom, the class were held under the trees. So they were laying on the floor to take the note. And it's all because of these, because of this learning center, they were all pick up fun. They were once scavenged on the street, but now they're all brought by the volunteer into these learning centers to learn. So, and in 2025, the February, we brought over desk and chair, and the children are all very excited. And due to we have the desk and chair, so we are able to group the children's in by age into the senior, the junior, and the middle class. And because of all the volunteers' aspiration, they can motivate the children's willing to come to learn. And one day there's a mom come over to the learning center to send her gratitude to the volunteers. She said that her child used to be picking up trash on the streets, but because of the learning center, her child finally come home to sleep in order to get up early in the morning to go to schools. And I can also help my boys to clean up his face and hands, so he can sleep comfortably at homes in order to go to school early in the mornings. And she's very grateful for Tzu Ji volunteer to bring back her sons. So when a volunteer were put on a uniform and walk through the markets, their villagers, they will all send their gratitude toward the volunteers. They were all said that whatever you did here is very amazing. So this is the way they teach Jingsi aphorisms. They just wrote down on the blackboards. And there's another another space with the roof and with walls. It's the classrooms. So we divided the students into junior, middle, and senior classes. So what happened to the student graduated from the kindergartens? Well, then we will establish the primary school from grade 1 to grade 6. And also, all the students, they need to put on a uniform to come to school. And uniform that was made by our volunteers, and all the fabric, all the cost of the fabrics was funded from our bamboo bank and was donated from the bamboo bank. And because due to their experience when they visit a Xindian kindergarten, so they want to bring the philosophy of Tzu Ji back to their own countries. And from this picture, you can see the teachers, the volunteer teachers, they all discuss the contents and share their own their own teaching materials. And we also like to provide a place for them to exercise. So we build these playgrounds. And also we bring the children to our vegetable gardens. And look at this picture. Before they come into the school, they need to line up neatly. And one day, also there is a kindergarten with a gate and the entrance. And when I look at this picture, I see there are the teacher always standing at the entrance to welcome children to the schools. And the children will also bow to the teachers to say good morning and before they enter the classrooms. And also we would like to pay visits on the other learning centers. And it's an extremely difficult journey because the carts was accidentally stuck in the mud. So it took 3 days for the volunteer to return to home safely. And also the other cities, the other villagers, they saw the learning centers. They were so envied about the children over there. They can come to schools. So the volunteer also helped them, and they bring some simple teaching materials over there but even it's simple, but it's good enough for them to establish learning centers. So even they are at the rural areas, even through the poverty, they still have the rights to receive educations. So when I look at those pictures, when I listen to their sharing, myself is thinking about what can I do more to help the students? Maybe we are not able to change their living environments, but is there any way that I can help them? Maybe it's through reading a book, they can give them some inspirations. And when they grow up, just whatever they read from the books, the knowledge they learn from the book may be well able to help them in the future when they grow up. So, so that's why we are trying to raise funds to buy some of the books and bring them and send them to Zambia. So starting from last year's in April, we launched a book donation project. And the volunteer really working hard to raise the fund. And we did all the efforts, and actually those books, there are totally 130 books, and they are picture books. And those books, we collected the books and we gave it to the volunteer in Malawi and Zambia. And we also have the 29 different kinds of English books about Jingsi Africans. So they all can bring those books back to their countries. So, and in such a poverty areas, in such a small learning center, use a tiny little space. We start this children's libraries. For before, they will never have a chance to access the books and knowledge, but now they do have a chance to receive education properly. And and I didn't realize what what we did that actually transformed their education, transformed their lives. If if uh, if someday, due to our efforts, due to our dedication, they can actually help the kids, they can step out of the poverty lives, and also I made a vow. I hope that not just in South Africa, where they just provide education projects. I wish that in the future I can have a chance to build a school, build an official school in like a city primary school in South Africa. So I would like to call out to all the volunteers around the world to do your efforts to through your dedication that we can put the power together to help to transform the environments, to transform the education system in South Africa. So I really appreciate your teacher May's invitation, and thank you for listening. We really appreciate your dedication, even through online sharing, but you still talk very smoothly and totally express your feeling, your efforts in Africa. And here, Sister Fang Wen give us a feedback that she, because reading for character and the books brings hope. So the audience, later please wave your hands to Sister Yaqi. So in America, in Taiwan, we raise funds to for the book donations. Actually, we have raised the funds more than 40,000 US dollars for the book donation projects. And another feedback that for the villagers that suffer from extreme poverty, they have a chance to receive education. That is wonderful. And another feedback that the volunteer transformed their atmosphere, their characters there. They truly transform the environment in Africa. And another feedbacks from our audience, we're so shocked that even you're so young, but you promote the Tzuji's spirits into the South Africans. You're willing to shoulder the responsibility. You're truly our role models. And another feedback, a good thought, a compassion thought that can actually put into practice and to bring this compassion, to bring our help to cover to all over the world. And also, Jingsi aphorism is the best way to educate the children. And another a feedback from Durban, from the Durban, the volunteer in Durban, to spread all the kind seeds in South Africa. Even it's hard to go on, but they never give up. So Sister Yaqi is really our role models. And hopefully that we are so grateful to listen to her online sharing. And another feedback, that's a Cassie phrase. It's all these blessing words for to support the new ears, the ears of horse. Thanks for the Cassie phrase. And also another feedbacks about this topic, reading for characters and books brings hope. We really appreciate Sister Yachi's sharing and also her aspirations. And we will pass down this gratitude towards Sister Yachi. So raise your hands and wave to Sister Yachi. Do you know what time is it right now? Over there in South Africa, it's about 5:30 over there. Well, those hearts from Dongda, they bring over these hearts. Actually, they want to leave the hearts at our study groups. So this can be used for our activity teams. So let's come back to my PowerPoints.